Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Yes! Today, guys, I got another Duxot for you. So, if you're not familiar with Duxot watches, they basically make what I would consider homage watches. So, I don't know exactly, I don't know every single watch that they make on here and which, which watch some of these are in reference to, but what I encourage you to do is click the link in the description and check out some of their models. What really turned me on to Duxot originally was the fact that they make really great, high-quality Submariner homage watches, and again, a bunch of other different models, but they make them with the stones, and I'm a huge fan of any kind of gemstone, whether it be just plain old glass. I like that look. Prior to Duxot, you really kind of have to take your chances buying just whatever on the internet. And not to say there aren't many great brands out there, but I have found that a lot of the hip-hop ice style brands, although they serve a purpose, right? They are fun. They just don't get you that level of quality that you want in a watch, or like a lot of us, or at least people that watch me want in a watch, and I always talk about the check boxes. What's my number one check box? And it should be everybody's. One, do you like it? Do you personally like it? Don't buy it for other people. Don't buy it for what recognition you might get or who you might possibly impress. Buy it because you like it, ultimately, and then you won't feel the need to get rid of it or sell it or worry about getting your money back for it. Whatever the case, buy things that you're going to like and enjoy to wear, right, and be proud of. Whatever the cost, doesn't matter. Two, what is it made out of? That's the next checkbox. Is it 3/16 stainless steel? Is it a precious, a precious material or stone? Or not stone, well, in some cases stones, or depending on what the bezel's made of, but mainly the watch's construction. That's what I'm talking about here. What is it made out of? Is it 904? That's great too. Is it 3/16? That's great too. Is it gold? Wonderful. But is it just kind of something plated? And I don't mean plated 3/16. I mean, is it good material or is it not, right? Then after that, what's the movement? What kind of movement does the watch have? Now, after all the things after that, hollow end links, what the crystal's made out of, all these really kind of take a back seat to my top three, right? Or really my top two. Do I like it? Is it made of stainless steel, right? 3/16 stainless steel. That's the most important thing. So Duxot watches, they give you that. They give you they check the boxes. So most of their watches, if not all of them, they do have, some have Swiss automatic three-hand movements. Other ones have, I believe, like Seiko Inch 35s. Again, I haven't gone through all these. Some are quartz, so you're not going to get the Swiss automatic. But you do get the stainless steel, and you do get a sapphire lens. So that's a real checkbox for a lot of folks. So, without me going back and forth the screen here, let's check out the presentation. So some of the Duxot watches come in, I have two different boxes here. And it just kind of depends on which one you get, but most of the ones that I've got from this company, and just so you know, they are a Dartmouth brand. So again, we're getting the Dartmouth brand quality. They come in these bright red boxes. Now, I'm 99% certain all their Duxot watches come just like this. So there's not any kind of different boxes. Like Invicta, you have all kinds of different boxes. Many other brands do the same thing. This one box says it all, right? So you have the outer sleeve, and you open that out, and you have this bright. I'm not going to open up this whole thing. This is the cardboard outer sleeve, bright Ferrari red, Corvette red in your face, bam, right? Get this out of the way. So the box is one of the nicest boxes that I've seen with a lot of affordable watches. Bright Ferrari red, solid wood construction. Open it up, you have that black velvet with the Duxot logo. That's about it. Pretty straightforward. Great presentation. Wonderful if you're going to gift this to somebody. But other than that, you guys know I never really get too involved in showing off the box because ultimately they just go into storage for me. What's the important thing we're looking at here? The watch. So here is the Duxot Submariner Bluesy. Done on a, and I don't know every single Rolex, what the combinations or the color choices, but generally when we see the gold and silver with the blue face, we call it a Bluesy. If you were to compare this to the actual color of a Rolex Submariner, of course, I don't think the Submariner comes with the Oyster bracelet or the Jubilee bracelet. It comes on the Oyster, but this has the Jubilee bracelet, which I really like. I've been wanting something in two-tone gold and silver for a while. And what's nice about this is there's no, nice in this case, right? Because I have many that are mirror polished. This is all a brushed finish. So every part of this is brushed. There's nothing blinged out on this that I can tell or mirror polished. Just an amazing quality watch. So let's get a couple close-ups here. Now again, when you look at the Rolex Submariner and the Bluesy, you know, generally, and when we call it Bluesy, it's just a term that a lot of people use to describe the color combination, which is going to be your gold, silver, and blue face. This color blue is completely different than what you're going to find on your standard Bluesy Homage or copy. Totally different. It kind of takes the watch in its own direction. It's a very dull, almost like a denim blue. Very, very dull, very, very matte finish, not bright and loud. I like it. It's very clean, it's very simple, and it's very subdued. The bracelet on these, amazing. Again, when we compare these to anything else on the market, I don't care who makes it, they're all pretty comparable. We do have friction pins pushing these out, or pushing the links out. And some folks have been asking me lately, hey, what are the end links made out of? To us watch guys, and sometimes I apologize, sometimes I forget what's important to me. You know, some folks, again, have more check boxes. Just so you guys know, from what I can tell on this, these appear to be solid end links. And honestly, I never mention it because most of the watches I review do have solid center links, solid end links. With this one here, it appears that all the links, including center links, are all solid. Now, I'm not going to take this apart and pull out the links and break them open and do anything like that. From what I can tell, the best of my ability, everything's solid on this thing. Clasp, but we even have been wearing this for weeks. We even have a little bit of paper left on it. We do have a milled clasp, and that is a checkbox for some folks. Again, for me, it doesn't stay on the wrist. I mean, I'm as simple as you can get when it comes to stuff like this. But it is a dual push button deploying clasp with a fold over lock. You do have 3 levels of micro adjustment, and it's a milled clasp, so it's not stamped. Some folks, you know, I mean, it's amazing what people worry about. When it's closed, it doesn't really make a difference. A milled clasp is no stronger than, you know, than any other clasp. One thing I will state though, I'm glad they didn't try to copy, and I don't know if the Jubilee has the glide lock. I just don't know, but if you know, let me know. But a lot of the Submariner Homages that I've reviewed over the years, a lot of the ones I own, other Duxots as well, they have the standard kind of Rolex Oyster glide lock sort of copy on it, right? I don't like that because I will tell you, my careless ass did, and I'm pretty careful, to be honest with you. I joke. But I'll tell you, I was mowing the lawn one day with one of the Duxots, and I caught it, caught it just right as the mower went forward. I kind of like was going around a bush, and I let go of it, and it just kind of caught the bracelet, and it did snap the bracelet. And I will state that the Oyster style bracelets have a very, very small weak point. It doesn't matter if it's Rolex, doesn't matter who makes it. It's a very small weak point on it that can break when a lawnmower running a runaway lawnmower pulls it off your wrist. It's going to happen with many watches, but I'll state that these definitely are, I think, a lot stronger the way that this is constructed. You don't have, and I forget which part of it, I believe it's part of the way that it locks on that other bracelet. I've never broken one of them. I have a lot of them, so I don't want to say this for you guys to be like, oh, I should stay clear of that. You know, just don't mow the lawn with your watch, right? Or do anything where you could, you know, you could break it. But I will state that this is just a better design as far as I think the longevity and any possible mishap. But again, it's only happened once, and that had nothing to do with the quality of the watch or really any watch. But it is a little bit of a weak point. There is a very small piece of metal that kind of keeps that sucker from falling apart. It keeps it working. So just kind of maybe I'll do a video on that at a later date. But I like the fact they just did a standard fold over lock, dual push button deploying clasp, very strong. You're not going to have any kind of issues with this. What else? You do have a threaded case back. That's pretty standard on most brands. You're going to get screw down crown. It is, of course, done with a unidirectional rotating bezel. Again, beautiful bezel action on this. Lume on this, definitely better than your Pro Divers and your Paganis, that's for sure. I haven't even been in the sun, and I can just kind of cut my hand on this, and you probably can't see it, but it's glowing. So I haven't even been outside for the last like 2 hours. So great lume on it. I don't know what the lume is, unfortunately. And I keep getting after them about it. All the Dartmouth brands, they just don't specify a lot on their website. And I am working with them. Hopefully I can harp on them and bitch about it enough to get them to change that. But as far as what they state, Swiss automatic 3-hand movement, I don't know what movement is in this. But, you know, if it's Swiss, they do list Swiss movement on the face. They do list it on the site. It would be nice to know which one. Is it an ETA? Is it a Value? You know, that's a huge deal. If this is a well, it's probably not a Value, but if it's like a Salida, you know, we would like to know that. Who makes the movement? That's important when you're spending money on a watch. Now, as far as price point, again, these are all over the place. $12.50 directly on their website. You know, one guy said to me the other day, and this is where I just don't understand people. One guy commented, you know, you said you'd never spend more than $400 a watch. Yeah, I have my sweet spot with things, right? I have spent more than $400 on a watch, but, you know, just because I have a sweet spot, it doesn't mean that because I won't spend $400 on a watch that you should spend, no one shouldn't spend $400 on a watch. Just like if you really like a Rolex, you should buy a Rolex. I'm just stating that don't get these things and then come back and make false you know, make false statements about how the quality is so much better. And that's what a lot of guys do. When they spend more for a watch, they have to rationalize the price and make it about quality. When really, realistically, if you spend $12.50 on this watch and you compare it to a Pagani design, you're probably not going to look at it and be like, oh man, I can really see the difference. Remember, prices are set by manufacturers. Movements dictate a lot of times how much a watch costs. We don't know what's in this yet, other than it being a Swiss automatic. If it's a Salida, it's going to kick the price up a bit, and that's going to kind of help to explain why it costs more, because the movement costs more. But remember, at the end of the day, companies are looking to profit and make money. So that's why I try to work with RGMT, Nubeo, to try to, you know, make their prices, get their prices down to that sweet spot where I know the people who watch me, who like the Invicta, the Aragons, the Bulivas, the Citizens, are going to get these watches and keep buying them, right? And adding more to their collection. You know, I don't want you guys to buy one of these and love it and then say, oh, that's it, I got my watch, never going to do that. You know, that's not really watch collecting. Now, if that's all you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that either. But I'm stating that, you know, these are so fun, and that's the whole point of affordable watches, is you can have a lot of them in your collection. You can have a lot of accessories. Just like, you know, 300 bottles of cologne. It's fun, and things that make us happy, that's why, you know, this is why we live, right? To be happy. So, I don't know. You know, again, just because I may not spend $1,000 on a watch doesn't mean you shouldn't. And just my goal, my mission when I get these watches is to bring awareness to the brand, share with you guys what you get, and then you make the determination. It's not up to me to determine for you what I think is a good value for you personally and what you should spend your money on. You are, most guys watching me are men, you are grown-ass men. Make a decision for yourselves on what you want. I get it all the time too, and I'm not trying to be rude, but I get guys that are like, hey, what do you think about this watch? You know, well, it's, let's say an Invicta, right? One guy asked me about Sea Hunter. What do you think about this Sea Hunter? Why does it matter? Why do you care what I think of that Sea Hunter? Like, do you have something specific you want to ask me? And he really didn't. He just wanted my approval to say, oh man, dude, that's sick. You need to get it. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you, if you see a watch that you like, I'm going to tell you, yep, if you really like that Sea Hunter or you really like this Duxot, you should get it, because I know you're going to like the quality. I know you're going to like it. But you have to make that determination by looking at it through these videos, look at it on their website, and decide what is going to make you happy. I mean, it's not for me to decide what you should buy. You know, that's not, and if anybody gets the idea from watching this video that I'm trying to hard sell you like the Home Shopping Network, that's not the case. I know these watches, if you see a video and you have never seen this watch before, you're like, ooh, I like that. Know that if you spend $12.50 for this, and I think you'll get it cheaper down the road, but if you spend $12.50 for this, you're getting a watch that, if we compare it to an Aqua Dive, $2,000 all day, Duxot all day long, $2,000. The quality's there. The quality's there. Can you find an Invicta for $99? Yeah. Can you get a Pagani for $99? Yeah. But it's not the Duxot. And again, you have to decide what's a good value for you. I'm here to share the watch with you guys and tell you how much I enjoy wearing them. Yeah, granted, I get them for free. It's a totally different story. And not everybody's going to look at this watch and want to spend $12.50 for it. But some people will. And that's what ultimately matters. Buy what's going to make you happy. As far as the quality, Whether you spend $200 for this or $12.50, the quality, you're getting the quality. You're getting 3/16 stainless steel. In this case, you're getting a Swiss automatic movement. Hopefully, I'll find out what that is. You're getting 30 ATMs of water resistance, which generally watches in the $100 range are giving you about 10. Again, solid stainless steel bracelet. No hollow links at all for those who are concerned. Case thickness 14 millimeters, case diameter 44. I really need to stop mentioning the size because really you can just go to the link and look at it. And I encourage you to do that anyway. But just a stunning watch, and I requested this mainly because I didn't have anything with a blue face and gold and silver. And it's great. I wear this one all the time, and I love it. 44 millimeters, a little bit larger than your standard, Submariner size, which I like, but I still wear the 42s up to the 58. So just depends on my mood. That's about it. And it does have sapphire lens if I forgot to mention that. Gorgeous watch, gorgeous look, very subtle, and I think extremely classy. So without further ado, let's throw it on the wrist. And I didn't mention it, but this watch, they call it royal blue. That's the color. Sometimes Dartmouth brands, they'll pick like ocean, or they'll pick something like ocean rock, and they'll use like a descriptive word or phrase for the color when sometimes it doesn't even relate. With this, it is called royal blue, and the model though is called the Atlantica, and they have a lot of the rhinestone versions or the gemstones, whatever they're using. I requested 2 more. They just came out with black stones. You guys know I love the black stones, so stay tuned for that. So man, awesome. I'll tell you. You guys know I love the Invicta brand, right? But I mean, I've been wearing this one quite a bit lately. I like it. It's pretty awesome. All right, so throw it on the wrist. So I have a 7-inch wrist. I weigh about 180 pounds, and I'm about 5 foot, let's say almost 5'8". This is what a watch looks like on a guy my size, my height, and my weight. Again, I don't know if the height really matters so much in these videos. I mentioned anyway just so you can get an idea of what, I look like. If you were to see me in person, you can make an idea of what I look like. And it gives you an idea. Sometimes guys, when I mention this, only because, and I mention it like a broken record in almost every video, I have my set script, or the things I say. And the reason you might be saying, God, Fat Cat, watched you 8 million times. We know you're 5'7". We know you have a 7-inch wrist. But remember, there's a lot of people discovering these videos who aren't YouTubers. They're not guys who are even going to subscribe to the channel. They're guys who are just, may find this video, and this might be the only YouTube video they watch, and it might make them want to buy this watch. So it's good to have all the information in every video, because whenever I do a video, I'm treating this like every person who's watching it has never seen me before and never met me on YouTube before. So just kind of keep that in mind, guys, for those who have been listening to my spiel for the last 10 years, right? Just a great looking watch, guys. I mean, you really can't go wrong. And again, I like the fact it's a little bit larger with that 44 millimeter as opposed to your standard 42 or 41. Just gives it a little more of a wrist presence, and I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, you really can't go wrong. And despite my feelings for how expensive and overpriced Rolex watches are, it doesn't. Or my little jokingly YouTube shorts where I, pissing on the Rolex. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I like all watches, and they're all fun, and they all get worn. And if somebody gifted me a Rolex, anybody, any rich people out there, sure, I'd wear it. Sure, it would be a great opportunity to review it more and really make some more comparisons side by side. But it's not. I don't dislike any watch brand. I appreciate all these wonderful brands. What I dislike is snooty, arrogant, snot-nosed people. That's what I dislike. And unfortunately, a lot of the people who are like that in the watch community generally are the ones who are reviewing the luxury brands and the Rolex brands. And they always comes back to them having to rationalize the cost because they can't admit to the reason they bought it. And that's just for the perception of others, right? They may like it too. Don't get me wrong. They still may like the watch, but they have to make it about quality. And in order to make it about quality, they have to shit on other brands. Because anybody with a normal, sane mind who is not delusional would look at these side by side and say, wow, these are both really nice watches. Put it under macro lens again, yeah, you might see some differences, but I always go back to Richard Perrette, watchmaker, reviewing the Invicta, giving the Invicta, and this isn't about Invicta, but if you like Invicta, you're going to love this, right? So giving affordable watches like Invicta, the underdog, giving it a 9.75 out of 10. And so if we assume the Rolex is 10, what are you paying for? the name, right? So same thing with like a Duxot. If, again, some people may not like the Pro Diver because maybe it doesn't have the sapphire crystal, and maybe it doesn't have, you know, I don't know if it has solid links. Everyone's a little bit different, but, you know, you're getting that with this. So it has a Swiss automatic movement. I wish we knew what it was, but, you know, in time. And I don't know here if we look at, oh, another checkbox for some folks. It does have a ceramic bezel. And they say marine grade stainless steel. If it's 316, it's all the same. But and the user manual, you could just download it. I'm not going to download it. I wish they would put the movement, but I mean, 1,000 feet, 30 ATMs, 300 meters of water resistance, pretty amazing. I mean, 18 joules. I should probably, and some of you guys might know, and if you find out, Swiss movements with 18 joules. 18 is kind of an odd number for me. I believe a lot of movements that I've seen are in the 26, I think. So curious to know which one that is. And if I find out, or when I find out, I will put it in the description and put it in the comment section. But anyway, guys, beautiful watch. Thanks for watching. You'll love it if you get it. No pun intended. And that's it. Have a good weekend. Take care.